professor, Assam Downtown University. So today I'm here to discuss with you all about trust society and a non-profit company. What an NGO is. An NGO is an organization consisting of private individuals who believe in certain basic social principles, obligations, and who structure their activities to bring about development to communities that they are servicing. NGOs include groups and institutions that are largely or entirely independent of government and that they have primarily humanitarian rather than commercial objectives. They are not profit making, voluntary, and service oriented organizations working on various issues like environment protection, save the planet, earth, disability, science and technology, health, agriculture, animal welfare, art and culture, education, etc. NGOs are known by different names: voluntary organizations, voluntary agencies, voluntary development organization, and non governmental development organizations. NGOs vary greatly according to their philosophy, purpose, program, approach, and orientation, scope of activities, and structures. Following are the different definitions of NGOs to have a better understanding of NGOs. The World Bank defines NGOs as a private organization that pursue activities to relieve suffering, promote the interests of poor, protect the environment, provide basic social services, or undertake community development. In wider usage, the term NGO can be applied to any non-profit organization which is independent from government. NGOs are typically value-based organizations which depend in whole or in a part on donations and voluntary service. The United Nations describes an NGO as any non-profit voluntary citizens group which is organized a, on a local, national or international level. Non-governmental organizations can be set up under various Indian laws. The different legal entities under which civil society organization can register themselves are: number one, registered societies. Societies Registration Act 1860 is a central act for registration a non-profit organization. Almost all the states in the India have adopted with modifications, if any, the central act of creating state level authorities for registering various types of non-profit entities. According to the act, any 7 person who subscribe to the memorandum of association can register a society. The memorandum should include the name of the society, its objectives, name, addresses, and occupations of the members subscribing to it, as well as the first governing body to be constituted on registration. Then comes the trust. Public trust. Public trust can be created for a public charitable purpose. There is no all India level act for setting up public charitable trust. Some of the states in India have enacted the Public Charitable Trust Act, while most states in India do not have any trust act. An NGO can be created only under a Public Trust Act. Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan have independent state level public trust acts. States like West Bengal, Jharkhand, and Bihar do not have any act to register a public trust. A trust can be registered in one state, but the same has the scope to operate in number of states. In the state of Maharashtra and Gujarat, all organizations that are registered as society are by default also registered as public trust under Bombay Public Trust Act 1950. Then comes the another type of trust, that is private trust. Private trust created under and governed by the Indian Trust Act 1882 aims at managing assigned trust properties for private or religious purpose. The private trusts do not enjoy the privileges and the tax benefits that are available for public trust or NGO. Then comes the another type of organization, that is a non-profit company, conferring of corporate personality to association with that promote cultural and charitable objectives, but exempting them from some cumbersome requirements which are essential for regulation of business bodies but are difficult for compliance by any non-profit companies, are the noteworthy features that are provided under the Companies Act 2013. So now moving forward, let's see the difference between a trust, a society, and a non-profit company. So based on the criteria of state and legislation, the Public Trust Act is registered under the Indian Trust Act 1882, while a society is registered under the Societies Registration Act 1860, and a non-profit company is under the Companies Act of 2013. And based on the criteria of jurisdiction of the Act, the Public Trust Act is concerned with the state where registered, while the society is also concerned with the state where it is registered, and a non-profit company is also concerned with the state where it is registered. Based on the criteria of authority, in a public trust, charity commissioner or the deputy registrar is the authority of the public trust, while in a society, the registrar of societies, and in a non-profit company, the registrar of companies. The type of registration done in the public trust is as a trust, while in a society as a society, and by default also as a trust in Maharashtra and Gujarat, and a non-profit company is registered as a Section 8 company based on the criteria of the main document. The main document of the public trust is the trust deed, while the main document of the society is the memorandum of association and rules and regulation, and in a non-profit company, the memorandum and the articles of association. Based on the criteria, the difference based on the criteria of the stamp duty, the public trust deed to be executed a non-judicial stamp paper of prescribed value, while in a society, no stamp paper required for association of required for memorandum of association and rules and regulation, while in a Section 8 company, there is also no need of stamp paper required for memorandum and articles of association. Based on the criteria of number of persons needed to register. In a public trust, minimum 2 trustees is required, while there is no any upper limit. While in a society, minimum 7 with no upper limit is required. While in a Section 8 company, minimum 3 persons are required, and there is no limit in the maximum number of people. Based on the board of management. In a public trust, the board of management is headed by the trustees, while in a society, the governing body or a council and or managing or executive committee has the board of management. While in a Section 8 company, board of directors or managing committee has the board of management. Mode of succession on board of management. So usually in a public trust, the succession is made usually by appointment, while in a society, usually election is conducted by the members of the general body, and in a Section 8 company, there is also election conducted between the members of the general body. So with this, I come to an end of my presentation. Thank you.